the grind, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. 1 o'clock. What's up, Nasties? How you doing today? It's Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubich, Hernan Salas with you here on EST Afternoons. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. And we're live from the William Huff Studios. Heartbreak in the oil country once again after last night's game that saw the Florida Panthers hoist the cup for the second year in a row after a 5-1 win over the Edmonton Oilers. We're all over it. Going to break it down, look ahead. We're weeks away from the draft, free agency, Gager. Lots to discuss. It's going to be a lot of movement around the NHL. We understand the fan base and Edmontonians and Oiler fans all over the world. They're a little down today. And yeah, it was a tough one for sure. It's never easy losing 2 straight Stanley Cup finals appearances. I really thought they were going to get it done this year. But at the end of the day, you got to give credit to that other team. They're an absolute wagon. They're fantastic. So today we'll be all over. Lots of Oilers talk. Of course, we want to hear from you on the Nasty Chat. Slam that thumbs up. And River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. We'll do Hernan's World inside the numbers. But this show is for you, the Nasties. Ask us questions. We can have good discussions. All that fun stuff about the Edmonton Oilers. Okay? So that's the show today as we get ready for Edmonton Elks football. Home opener tomorrow, 7 o'clock down at Commonwealth Stadium. It's going to be a fun night. Looking forward to that game. And we'll shift gears now from hockey for a bit to a lot of other sports, and we're looking forward to that as well. Joaquin, how you doing, my man?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
I'm okay. I'm fine, but, I'm saddened by the look of people that this were,
We had to give
we're
Trev
riding.
a group hug.
Trev, jeez. It's we gotta try and take care of him. No, I feel bad for people that have put so much of their heart and emotion into this playoff run, but one team's got to win. One team has to lose, unfortunately, and this one really hurts. I think this one hurts people more than last year's, because last year, and even Dusty said it, like the next day came in and said they'll be back, right? Yeah. And they were back, but just the way that series was, and seeing how maybe far is the wrong word, but they weren't close to the Florida Panthers. The Panthers were a much deeper, better, stronger, faster, more intelligent hockey team than the Edmonton Oilers, all through every single area.
It's interesting because Rashog said he thought that the margins were a lot closer than people think. Brutton said the opposite. It's a fascinating series to break down. I think after game 2, Florida did take it to them, and the numbers suggest that, and the eye test suggests that. And listen, that's a hell of a team. They're extremely well coached. 4 lines, 6 defensemen and a goalie. They were better in every aspect of the game. 5-on-5, special teams, defense, goaltending. In every aspect, you got to give them credit. They're a hell of a team. It sucks to see the Oilers lose, of course, but we're going to get all over it here. It's one of those games where I thought the Oilers, they came out 2 big hits right off the hop. Perry levels Marchand, and I think it was Kane behind the net that leveled, I think it was Forrest or Mikkola.
Yeah.
And then it's just, and listen, we got 2 hours. We're going to break it all down player by player and all that. But let's talk about the goals, Joaquin. The first one, a horrible pass to the shin pads of Bouchard from Ekholm. Bouchard can't handle it. Reinhardt walks Ekholm and scores the goal. I know some people didn't like Skinner on that one. We'll get Gager's thoughts. The second goal, it's McDavid. It's a turnover in the offensive blue line, but they're good. It's 4-on-4 at one point, Joaquin. They got 4 guys back. McDavid drifts to Wallman's guy, leaves Kachuk all alone. that goal can't happen. The Oilers' top player's got to be better defensively, plain and simple. And then the third goal, and Joaquin's going to have a lot to say on this one. I still don't know what. I know Skinner said he was trying to squeeze it between the blocker and the body, and then he said he thought he put it into a safe space. That was just all kinds of awful. Gager, which goal do you want to start with? I mean, the first one, we really don't have to say much. It's just...
I mean, yeah... Again, it goes back to just a team being way more prepared than the other one, right? And that's through everything. I think coaching had a little bit to do with this,
Sure.
But you have to ask the question, and everyone's banged up. I realize that, but of course, your hindsight's always 20/20 in these types of situations. And the fact that the Edmonton Oilers defense was rolling without Ekholm was surprising. First of all, I thought that was going to be too cavernous a hole for them to come out of, but he wasn't. I think he was still really banged up, and I don't know if. And I mean, everyone wants to play and make a difference, but I don't know if him being in the lineup was the right call, and because you saw it. Yeah. For 2 games, when do you see major mistakes? I mean, goal-causing mistakes come off the stick of Mattias Ekholm.
And he was bad.
The game before.
The only game he played well was the last one against Dallas.
Yeah.
Because he played 15 minutes, yeah.
Isn't that his first game?
Yeah. So
yeah.
Bad pass, sure. Second goal, it's all McDavid. What you like? Okay, this third goal, because that's the killer. That's when you knew it was over. As a goalie, because I thought Trev brought up a good point on the morning show. He goes, it almost like he didn't see it till the last second. What do you make of it? Because it was such a bizarre play. He put it right to where only a Florida player was.
Well, it's just not recognizing danger, first of all, because sometimes you do that as a goaltender. But it's usually with a puck that's like fired at you. On your blocker side, you have a little bit, you can control where it goes, right? Yeah. You can put it where you want to. And Trev made a really good point. It's like, God, it seemed like he didn't see it to the last second and then kind of did something. But you can see he was trying to just put it into an area where he thought the puck was safe. Now, again, the Florida Panthers had the puck in the Edmonton Oilers zone for at least a minute 45 before that. And everyone's dead tired. Darnell Nurse doesn't seal the net and allows Reinhart free pass, a free lane to the net, doesn't have to veer in any sort of direction.
Yeah.
Barkov looks for the shot pass, goes off his skate and in. Yeah. Right? So, I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with that play. And the guys, it almost looked like Darnell Nurse thought because of the speed of the shot, Skinner's just going to grab that. Like you could almost go cross body and just grab that with your glove at that point. But
because it was just a hope play on the board. He just threw it on net.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was thinking about this last night. God, are we really going to go into each and every goal and stuff like that? I mean, it's over, you know. But I forget who said it this morning, and it might have been out when we were talking. But just a lot of the old bad habits that we pick apart throughout the regular season and certain points in the playoffs came back and reared their ugly head in last night's game. And I mean, again, you gotta hand it to those Florida Panthers, man. I said in our group chat, Dusty mentioned it, looking at them, they were playing like, okay, they're getting ready for the next round. You know, they could go another round. Yeah, I think against the team.
And I thought the panel in the intermission made a good point in the second intermission that they were surprised how much the Oilers were showing their frustration.
Oh yeah.
And they were saying you don't want to do that because then the team knows they have you.
Well, that's what they do, man. Yeah. Remember we were watching the Panthers and I was saying, geez, they're a boa constrictor, you know, and you could see it. They were just, and even from the first series against the Tampa Bay Lightning, you could see Tampa getting frustrated because they couldn't, that forward check and the physical play, trying to get to the net. The stars were aligned for the Florida Panthers. They did an unbelievable job. I mean, gosh, getting Marchand and Seth Jones. Come on.
And I remember there's a few takes that Seth Jones was brutal. And it's like, that's why I always say you have to look where they're playing with. He was on the worst team in the league, one of the worst teams.
Playing against the top guys, like half an hour a game.
Yeah,
you know,
like obviously his numbers and his analytics are not going to be sexy because they don't win a lot. And he's on the ice half the game and he gets scored on a lot. So he goes to a good team and he's an absolute stud.
Well, look how he moves around the ice, man. And when
he's good, man.
Either him or Ekblad against Connor, they just took all his ice away. Like they would come down and just mirror him up so he couldn't attack with speed. It was just
Forsling was outstanding.
It was a masterful game plan to eliminate Connor and Leon. Like Leon,
we were even talking about Kulikov and Nate Schmidt. They looked amazing.
I know. I've always liked Nate Schmidt, though. I've always thought he was a pretty good player. But he was instrumental in this series, just on the power play, second unit. Great passes, game one, you know? Although the Oilers won, but...
It's interesting because we're going to look at the forwards, the defense, the goaltending, of course, the coaching. But sometimes, like Dusty's been saying it all morning on every show he's done, you got to tip your hat to the Florida Panthers. That team is a wagon. They got a ton of salary cap. They can probably keep Ekblad, Bennett, and who's the other one that's possibly to leave? I can't remember the name, but it's crazy to me because I was thinking of this last night. Like Marner's the big fish out there. That for me,
he's not.
For me, Bennett's I'd rather have Bennett than Marner.
I would put. I don't know. Maybe not. I would put. Ooh. I mean, we could we'll maybe save that for another show to rank the top UFAs for this year, but I don't put Marner at the top. It's Sam Bennett. You take the Conn Smythe winner.
Oh, and just what he does, guys. Like he is a phenomenal. I know Edmonton hates him, but he is a phenomenal. When everything clears, the dust clears, and you can once again start watching and talking hockey again. Like Sam Bennett is a hell of a player.
And for Oilers fans, and take some solace knowing that there's a bunch of people in Calgary right now going, why did we get rid of these two players?
If you would have told me 6 years ago Sam Bennett would be a Conn Smythe and the biggest fish in free agency, I would have been like, yeah, right. Like, it's unreal.
Funny.
Okay, let's start with the goaltending. Joaquin, we saw both guys win 7 games. You saw Stuart Skinner struggle, get pulled. Picker took over. He gets hurt. Skinner comes in. He's great for a bit. And then in this series, both guys up and down. I guess let's look towards this summer. At what percentage do you put it at that the Oilers will be looking for a goaltender? To upgrade their goaltending is probably the proper word. I don't want to get into
what percentage?
Yeah.
To upgrade their goaltending?
Yeah.
I think it's 100%.
Okay. I agree with you because it's 2 years in a row. And this duo has done good things. I'll give them credit. They're a combined 3.6. You're getting a lot of value out of that. 2 Stanley Cup Finals. Yes, you haven't won it. But I'm with you. I think they're going to look long and hard, but they got to get it right. Like Dusty was reading off names on the free agent, and you can't go that route because no one's better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
You're not bringing a guy as a project, right? Or an older Jake Allen. Like, that's not the answer, guys. You need a legitimate number one. And I don't know who leaves. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause both guys are under contract for 1 more year.
Yeah.
Or they run it back.
I mean,
you have 3 options.
It's because you look at the list. I don't, it's a sideways move. I think. I still, and it was funny listening to Stuart Skinner last night saying, like he said, this is my 3rd year. I go, 3rd year? You've been here for 80, haven't you? It must feel like that.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. But then I said to Reed and Jay, I was like going, oh, it's too bad they have to pay Jack Campbell 2.6 or whatever next year. And
because he's supposed to be the number one.
This year, I think Stuart Skinner was probably supposed to play 30 games.
Yeah.
You know,
be the backup.
Be the backup and play, and then Jack Campbell would run with it. Like, so, and you've said it. You've said it. You don't, it's tough to give up on guys. 3 years, man. And I know people are clamoring for it.
Yeah.
But who made a huge goaltending splash this year? LA kind of but that was in the summer.
Yeah.
That was a big one. The Colorado Avalanche.
I just don't want Dubnyk to happen again. Because Dubnyk left here because the team was awful. He was on a bad team. He had a rough ride the next year and the year after, but then he became one of the best goaltenders in the league.
And then look at Bobrovsky for the first 3 years of his career. Not great. Finally went to Columbus, got some traction, won a few Vezinas on he was just he's an unbelievable talent, yes. But then struggled again, went to Florida and struggled. Like they said it on the broadcast, talking about that contract being the worst contract in sports, let alone the NHL.
3 years ago, they started Alex Lyon ahead of Bobrovsky in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Lyon lost the first 2 games, and Bobrovsky
and then that was their only option. Good option to go to, but
it's just I get there's not an appetite for patience. This is a Stanley Cup contending team, and I understand it. And yes, Stuart Skinner didn't have a good regular season, up and down in the postseason. Picker's not a guy you can roll with as a number one. He's just not. He's a great guy. No. He did his job. He came in and gave him a life in the first round.
This is why I think who's got more movable cachet to move a goaltender. Because if you're moving Skinner, you're getting something back that's equal in value.
Yeah.
But having competent backup goaltending, it's tough, but it's available.
Yeah.
Like you can't say that teams. If I'm the Winnipeg Jets, I look at because they have Hellebuck, but that's all. If he goes down, they're in kind of trouble. I think.
And you probably want to lesser his load.
Yeah.
And you have a guy like Pickard, right?
A guy like Pickard makes $1 million, can go and play. I know Hellebuck wants to play every game, but they gotta start taking the blades out of his skates for some.
So that's another option because you can bring in a goalie, and then who said it on our show the other day? Was it Oleg Kolzik who said the NHL is becoming more of a 1A 1B system? Is that the move here to bring in a guy where him and Skinner kind of split it, and then in the playoffs you go with whoever's better or the hot hand? Is that an option?
Yeah, I really thought that Bob didn't. It's not like the Oilers didn't do enough to wear down Bobrovsky in the series. Like I think they've worn down goaltenders in previous years. Like Kemper, they wore out, with their play.
Adin Hill,
they wore out. They made it very difficult with him. Ottinger he was poor in that series. But yeah, Stuart Skinner's outperformed all those guys in conjunction with Calvin Pickard too. So you have, and like you said, you don't want to make a mistake with Stuart Skinner. I've strongly believed that a goaltender doesn't reach his prime until 27, 28. He's already got a wealth of experience. He's been to 2 Cup finals, right? There's not a lot that's going to phase him throughout the regular season anymore, right? So you've got a guy that has a lot of battle scars. Does he need to get better? Yes. He needs to establish himself in that upper echelon of goaltenders. He can't be middle of the pack and doing these things.
And there's something to be said about the Stanley Cup experience. He's got more experience than a lot of veteran goalies right now because he's been to the dance, right?
He has like hardcore experience in the playoffs.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And I think to a certain extent, because it was Knobloch who said, well, ask the Buffalo Bills if experience helped them, right? When they lost 4.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's a part of it. I think you can't just say, oh, but he has Stanley Cup experience, we're going to stay with him. I think it's a part of it. I think it's a small thing that, he is a guy that's been to the dance and will know how to handle it as he gets older and get better, right?
You need the bottom line, I think, you need a save at certain times. And the Florida Panthers got saves they needed when they needed them.
Yeah.
And when you really look at the first 2 goals, and Kelly Rudy said it on the broadcast, those are stoppable pucks.
You need a save. That's what he said.
You need those stopped.
And there was like these numbers circulating around, I think around Game 3 of the finals, where it was Stuart Skinner barely stopped any grade A shots.
Yeah.
And Pickard, that was his specialty. He was stopping the hard. So, and listen, I get the backdoor tap in, I get all the stuff, but the great goalies are great. Why? Because they make the tough saves, and I think that's a part of Stuart Skinner's game, Joaquin, because he has made him at times.
Yeah.
but it's not consistent enough.
No.
Like, he won't bail you out.
No.
Like yesterday on the blunder on the first goal. Yeah, Simon Reinhart walks in all alone,
it's a stoppable puck.
but Bobrovsky probably makes that save.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, he did make those saves, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. We're going to be all over it in the summer, of course. As it's a sad day. I mean, I feel for the fans. I feel for the players, man. It's so hard to take. It's I was telling you guys, like, Tommy and I, we get our evenings. I'm like, it's been 10 months of this, and we just do a pre and post game show. Imagine these guys that have to play, and the fans, the stress level. It's just unreal. So it was a long run, and I truly believe, though, and I'll echo what Dustin Nielsen said. I do believe this team will win. I'm not going to say next year or the year after, but I know they will win one, and we'll all be very, very happy when that time comes. Up next, we're going to look at the decor. We're going to work our way up here. We're going to look at the decor, some guys that were disappointing in this series and throughout the playoffs. And do we see any movement here for Stan Bowman and all that? Well, we got so much to cover on today's show, so keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk, of course, presented by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery, all in one place. With easy access to real money games, you can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. We look at the Oilers defense up next here on EST Afternoon. Slam that thumbs up, hit us up on the Nasty Chat and the River Cree inbox. We're back after the break.
Canada's Marie-Philippe Poulin has been named the International Ice Hockey Federation's Female Player of the Year. She received nearly 1/3 of the votes for the award. In New York, the Rangers have inked Matt Rempe to a 2-year contract extension worth nearly $1 million per season. In Calgary, Stamps receiver Reggie Begelton hits the 6-game injury list after he fractured his leg against Toronto on Saturday. NFL News has the Ravens signing former Packer Jair Alexander to a 1-year deal worth a maximum amount of $6 million. Elsewhere, Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton is, quote, probably a game-time decision for Game 6, according to Indiana head coach Rick Carlisle. Halliburton has been fighting through a right leg injury throughout the series, with him being nicked up with a calf strain in Game 5. Game 6 goes tomorrow. In baseball, Toronto rematches Arizona. The Jays winning 5-4 in their series opener yesterday. Eric Lauer is the expected starter for the Jays. First pitch at 5:07. And the Riverhawks look to snap a 2-game losing streak, losing 7-1 to the Bells last night. They go head-to-head once again at 7:05 EST, having the entire game on any of our audio streams. This sports update is brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. Tomorrow at 7 p.m., the Elks play the Alouettes in their 2025 home opener. Celebrate with new food, music, and an all-out green and gold energy. Get your seats now at goelks.com. We look at the defense of the Oilers on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Brian Rashog from TSN.
This is a 9, 9.5, and a 10. And the margin between those two, I mean, an overtime goal flips in either direction earlier in that series. I mean, you talk about flipping goalies in imaginary land. If the Oilers get the goaltending performance the Panthers did, I mean, probably have a better chance of winning the series, probably win the series.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Ford Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Just like the boys of summer keep their gear in top shape, you can keep your stuff safe with Sentinel Storage.
Hit a home run with Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to close, head to The Banquet and dive into banquet burgers, sushi tacos, nachos, and more. Late night bites, big flavors, and epic deals. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's a bit of a downer today for sure. Lots of texts coming in. Nico's dad says, you guys make me laugh. 15 games in the playoffs and you guys are sold on Bennett. Okay, but you guys don't know 10 years in the NHL and he got 50 points once. But you got to look at the intangibles here, man. Like, you can't just look at the points. I at least for me, I won't speak for Joaquin. If I'm building a team to compete for the Stanley Cup, I'm taking Sam Bennett over Mitch Marner every time.
So are 32 other GMs. But it depends on the construction of your team,
of course.
Too. So, I'll say this. Sometimes GMs are a little bit like lemmings where they follow the mold of the previous winner of the Stanley Cup. It's going to be very hard to replicate that team in Florida, but you have to look at what's on your team, how you think you're going to be successful in the NHL. You have to take into account the division, the conference that you're in, peeks over to the other side to see who do you think is going to come out, and how are you going to construct a team that's going to go up against possibility the other strong teams in the league and win a Stanley Cup. So let me ask you, Nanso, and the people out there, if you're the GM of the Oilers and you know kind of the nucleus of that team, what type of style do you want to play? And I say this because watching this playoff run and throughout the whole year, I mean, you and I complain a lot about going nuclear a lot.
Oh, we're
right?
going to get to that, yeah.
But as a GM, now think of it from there. Okay, so my coach thinks he has to put these guys together. But I think, maybe I'm just saying, I don't know how they think, but I think we're better suited to be more balanced, kind of like the Florida Panthers, be strong down the middle. Of course, there's times when they're going to be together, but just spread out the wealth a little bit more. How do I get it so my coach can keep those guys apart and have confidence in what I've provided to him for players?
No, 100%. And Bennett, 15 points 3 years ago, 14 points. 2 years ago, last year, 22 points this year in the playoffs. That's what you want, right? And I get the point stuff, but he's a 3-time plus 20 goal scorer. He's not going to score 40. He's not going to score 50. That's not Sam Bennett. But Sam Bennett, it's more valuable than a Mitch Marner for me. And now Nico's dad, you could see it the other way, and that's totally fine. That's why we all have different opinions, and we're sharing them, and we discuss them. But for me, I think, listen, Mitch Marner's going to garner a lot of attention. A lot of teams are going to be interested because he's a hell of a hockey.
Well, he's a 100-point player.
Yeah.
And you need those. This is the balance I'm kind of alluding to with being a GM. Okay, Mitch Marner, 100 points. 100 points through the regular season. Okay, that many points. You kind of do a quick review of what you expect your players to do throughout okay, does that equal a playoff spot? Yes. But then comes the next level of play, and that's the playoffs. There's a lot of guys that only seem to perform during playoff time, and it's because the style of play changes. You wouldn't believe this, Hernan, but the reffing changes too.
Oh, 100%. Look at that yesterday. They predetermined they weren't going to call any penalties.
Oh my gosh.
It's terrible. Troll says, I bet if they trade Skinner, he ends up like Dubnik. There's one more I wanted to read here. Where did it go? I'm going to address this once, and this comes in from 403. I'm depressed. call the rumors of Connor leaving, all that to be BS, right? And listen, Connor McDavid is not leaving. Okay, and this is the only time I'm going to address it because there's no point in talking about it. Okay, he's not going anywhere, and let's just leave it at that. Okay, Joe, let's keep the messages coming to the River Korean box 780-218-9999, and on our nasty chat, of course, slam that thumbs up. Let's get to the defense here. We kind of talked Matthias Ekholm. When your best defender is coming off an injury, but he says he's good to go and he's got the clearance and all that, but your decore's playing so, like, I understand why they put him in, because the idea of Matthias Ekholm in your lineup is always a positive one, right? It's like he's our best defender. He's an absolute warrior. But then you saw him in the series and he struggled in every game. He did.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time being harsh on the coaching staff because he's your best defenseman. But then when you realize he's not up to snuff, what can you do? What should they have done?
Well, their options were limited, but they were quick to go back to Stetcher.
For Klingberg, yeah.
For Klingberg. And it was just the fact that they were going so well as a group together. And I think we even talked about it a little bit. They go, yeah, Ekholm's getting ready to go, but do you play him? You know, everything's, you don't want to mess with a lineup. And I do think the injury to Hyman did play a factor in the decisions to put Ekholm into the lineup. Because I think we waited out too. Having Ekholm hit, what helps the team more? A healthy Ekholm, you know, with Zach Hyman out, it kind of counterbalances everything. And what does he do? He goes and scores a goal in this first game. So we're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's good. We're good. Keep him in there. But yeah, it was. And his play, I thought that game was pretty good, like his first game. But again, with Evander Kane, I always thought not playing the whole season, there's going to be a lot of juice off the top, right? And there was, but it got to a point where fatigue, I think, set in just by not having that regular season under your belt. I know and I'm not saying physically, but mentally playing that amount of games after not so close back to back, I think wore down Evander Kane a little bit more. You could see the lack of just having that mental strength to continue to compete.
Okay, so Ekholm, we'll see. He might get he might have to look at these injuries in the offseason. Who knows if he's out to start the season? There's a lot on the table here. We'll find out here when they do garbage day. They're
it's garbage bag day.
Garbage bag day, not garbage. Garbage bag day, and we'll hear what everybody's injuries were and all that fun stuff. So we'll wait for that. That should be coming probably tomorrow or Friday. Let's look at another defenseman. Listen, Bush is the big one. It sounds like he's going to get paid. I thought Bush in the first two games against LA was awful. Then he really turned it around. He was solid. We barely talked to him for 2.5 rounds.
He was great.
I thought in this series, though, he returned to that kind of lackadaisical defenseman where he didn't really meet the moment. He didn't understand the pressure that he was under in the game because there was too many mistakes for my liking in Bush. And you saw Knobloch mix up the pairings for the first time because a lot of these guys were playing bad, Gager, and that's what's. And listen, we're getting a lot of texts and a lot of people. And then you can't pay Bush. They're going to. And listen, I can sit here and tell you this. I wouldn't give him 11. I wouldn't give him 10. But I'm not the GM of the team, and I understand its value and I understand the market. He's brilliant offensively, but it's the stuff defensively that drives you crazy. Gager, where are you on Evan Bouchard right now?
Well, it's difficult, right? Because he played so well, and we were saying around here, oh look, playoff Bush is back.
Yeah, he was good, man.
He was really good, but those blemishes of his game definitely started to pop up again against this Florida Panthers team, and they knew that. That was their game plan. Like if you could, I would have loved to have been in those types of meetings. It was just hard on their skill. Make sure you limit. Like that one shift they showed it last night, everyone hitting Leon Draisaitl. Like he was just like going one way, getting hit, getting knocked down, hit, boom. And you just saw him he is like, what is going on out here? Right. And Bouchard, I didn't like. I mean, there was a lot of bad things, but that you mention it, just that lackadaisical. Like the puck hits him in the shin pad, and he kind of just, there's a guy, and I'll just try to, and it doesn't. Like I don't know how you don't bear down there, right? And if anything, make sure that guy just doesn't pick up the puck and go. Like you get in his way a little bit. It just. It's tough. It's tough because what he does, he's got so many of those intangibles.
And you can't coach that out of him. That's just him.
I think you just,
like you can't make the guy fierce. You can't make him intense. You either have that or you don't.
I don't know. He slashed, what's his face on the foot?
He was named the Butcher.
Yeah, the Butcher. The Butcher's knives went pretty dull in that last series.
Oh, boy. And then the other one is he's such a interesting player on this team. It's Darnell Nurse. Excellent regular season. Really bounced back after a bad playoffs. But I found in the playoffs, Darnell Nurse, I'm not going to say he struggled as bad as last year, but I thought he was really up and down and didn't play his best hockey. And I think I tried to ask Reed, and no one really, like none of us could come up with an answer why the drop-off in the playoffs. Gager, you got anything on Darnell Nurse, why his play drops? I mean, yes, it's ramped up. Yes, you know, it's go, go, go. Everything is amplified for sure, right? And the pressure of the Florida Panthers. But I thought Darnell Nurse was up and down throughout the playoffs.
Yeah. Darnell Nurse, I think there's a lot there. You see the potential in it. I think he has the potential. You can't tell me he can't be like Ekholm. Or, Ekblad. Sorry. I think he could. Like, he skates well, he's big, he's strong, he's got a good first pass, but it's just...
At 30 years old, can he still do that?
No.
He's 30.
Yeah, I know. So, and I that's what I thought. I see glimpses of him being like that Ekblad type, you know?
Yeah.
But he's... Unfortunately, he's not that guy, I don't think. And not his fault. He had one great year in a contract year, and it was after his bridge, and you were like,
stupid
wow.
Seth Jones. Contract ruined it.
Yeah. Well, that you were comparing the two. You were comparing that season with Seth Jones, Dougie Hamilton,
Werenski
and Boston McAvoy,
yeah,
right? So that's the caliber of defender he was in company with. But I think there's it's weird. We talk about the Darnell Nurse whisperer, and we see him have success with certain players. But I just think he needs to play with a right-handed defenseman.
Yeah, and a steady one.
And
listen, I know it sucks to hear that, but that's the way it is. Darnell Nurse, you just said it, is not that guy. He's not your top pairing guy. He's not your top shutdown guy. And yes, he's making a ton of money at 9.25, and that's why it hurts. And I think that's why it hurts hearing that it's going to be between 10 and 11 for Bush, Gager, because you're going to be paying up to $20 million for two defensemen, and neither of them are your number one. Do you know what I mean?
Why? That's the day after Hernan. Why do you got to say that?
Sorry. Jeez. I'm sorry. Smitty Welder says this. Nurse is not smart enough. Do you think it's a hockey sense thing with Darnell?
Sometimes I think his quick decision making isn't always there. Right? For a guy that has had that much experience at the NHL level playing against the top players, there are certain moments where I think he goes from a MacBook to a Commodore 64 and just can't process it, right? Yeah, that's a lot of money for the next few years too, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why I think they have, I know they want Bouchard because of his offense, but I think they really got to think this through, man. But
I think the whole plan wasn't the plan for Bouchard to play with Darnell, and Darnell would be that rock solid defender.
But they're awful together.
Oh, they're terrible.
They're awful. And then you got to keep this in mind. Ekholm's 36. He's a lot of miles on that body. He's slowing down. Stetcher, he's a 6'7". Klingberg, 6'7". Klingberg's
a UFA, so it doesn't matter.
Wallman's a pleasant surprise. There's something there with Emberson, but he's a third pairing defenseman.
Yeah, it looks up for him. They got Kulak for another year. Wallman was a pleasant surprise, right? But look, we said it before we came on the show. The Oilers have $11.9 million in cap space currently.
Yeah.
And Evan Bouchard needs to get signed.
Yeah.
They're
in trouble.
They're in big trouble.
We're going to get to the cap. I want to ask this before we get to the break and the forwards. Is Kulak under contract?
Yes.
Okay.
2.75.
Your left shot defensemen right now are Matthias Ekholm, Brett Kulak, Jake Wallman, and Darnell Nurse. Okay. You want to throw Cam Dineen in there, go ahead. But those 4 guys are all here next year.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you rank Nurse of the 4 left defensemen right now?
Of the 4?
Yeah. I want to ask the Nasties.
Yeah, ask the Nasties. They're not going to like my... So, right now, if everyone's healthy and playing to their capabilities, I have Ekholm 1. I like Wallman the way he was...
Yeah. He's a competitor,
yeah. I mean, he's a little bit of a hothead, but I think I have... Right now, I have Wallman, too. Kulak wasn't my normal playoff Kulak this year.
He was not, no. But at his best, is he just as good as Nurse?
I don't think Kulak can consistently play at his best all the time, but he skates well, gets around. He does a lot of things that don't show up on the score sheet or the stats page. But yeah, Nurse 3, Kulak 4.
All right. I'll give you mine after the break. We want to hear from you. 780-218-9999 and in the Nasty Chat. Of the 4 left defensemen, how would you rank them when they're all on their game right now? Because I think it's an interesting question because you're going to pay Bouchard and you're going to have Nurse at 9.25 and people are ranking him 3rd and 4th. I think we have a big problem here. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out Happy Hour. 525. Ooh, it all gets going. 525 drinks available Sunday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's a River Cree inbox 780-218-9999. Rank the 4 Oilers left defensemen Ekholm, Wallman, Kulak, and Nurse. And we'll continue to talk Oilers on the other side of the break. We'll revisit this question. And of course, we'll talk about the forward group. That's all coming up here on EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Marie-Philippe Poulin has been named the Female Player of the Year at the international level. She took home the MVP award at the World Championships in April, being a runner-up for that same award in the PWHL. Elsewhere, Matt Rempe has re-signed with the Rangers, signing a 2-year deal worth nearly $1 million per season. CFL News has Reggie Bagleton of the Stamps moving to the 6-game injury list after he sustained a leg fracture Saturday against the Argos. And in Ottawa, Red Blacks head coach Bob Dice says that Dustin Crump starts this weekend if Drew Brown is out against the Stamps. For the Pacers, head coach Rick Carlisle says that Tyrese Halliburton is, quote, probably a game-time decision for Game 6 tomorrow. Halliburton suffering a calf strain in Game 5 against the Thunder. Baseball has tons of action with the Jays and D-backs going at it. Toronto picked up a 5-4 win in their series opener last night. First pitch for that one is just after 5. Eric Lauer getting the ball for the Jays. Back in Edmonton, the Riverhawks host the Bells, looking to snap a 2-game slide. Listen to the full game on any of EST's audio streams, with that one starting at 7:05. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. They're the experts you need to know. More Oilers discussion brings us back after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
The EST Hangout.
Yeah, and you're off the...
I'm off the sauce.
So even tomorrow?
Yeah.
Really, you're going to go off tournament and you're just not going to do anything? I don't buy that.
Either do I.
I'll check in with you guys, but that's your game.
Because if we're anywhere close to each other,
I hope
it's happening.
Over and under.
I'm going to see you like
no.
Don't come near me.
Baba Yaga.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc, we're the experts you need to know.
It's 147. Roll along here on EST Afternoon. Zach Kubich, Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas here with you. Portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Make your birthday legendary at the Canadian Brew House. Epic food, killer drinks, and a vibe you can't beat. Book your party now. The Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house. Bones says, if healthy, he goes 14, 25, 96, 27 in that order. So Ekholm, Nurse, Wallman, Kulak. Pat says Nurse is fifth. Not a fan. Good question by CB Radio Guy. Guys, was it because Bush regressed or because Ekholm was awful? That's a good question. I
think you got to give, again, we've said this a lot today, the Florida Panthers credit to make, I mean, they made Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl look like second liners, third liners at times, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Penner's Pancakes, top end game. He goes 1 Ekholm, 2 Nurse, 3 Wallman, 4 Kulak. I know we had a more. Timothy says Ekholm 1, Wallman 2, Nurse 3. Jacob says Kulak is more consistent than Nurse. I just think Kulak is a steady Eddie all the time.
Yeah.
Like you don't get a lot of a roller coaster with Kulak. He's just steady.
No, he plays there's a style of play that he has that he's solid, man.
And that's the thing, right? Like I really like what Wallman brought. I didn't know he was that physical and that's feisty. He got a little hot-headed here in the playoffs for sure. Ekholm, a status up in the air, right? Off-season surgery. How long is he going to be out? That's all questions to be asked here in the next couple of days when they hold their media avails. Kulak, I mean, why would you want to get rid of a guy like that?
No, it's already under contract at 2.5, whatever it was. That's
he has 1 year left?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. Listen, hold on. I got a text here, I think. This is spot on. Nurse has all the intangibles of being a good playoff guy. Big, can skate, can be physical, but he can't put it together. And that's what's fascinating about this player, because why?
I don't know. I don't know.
He has it all.
Yeah. I mean, he was big in that game, right? The comeback. Struggled off the hop, and then he turned it around, scores a big goal.
Yeah, and you were reading in the break, Gager was going through all the teams in the cap space.
Don't do that.
If you don't want to ruin your day even more, don't go look at the other team's cap space because, oh boy.
Yeah, it's not only their cap space, it's the amount of people that are still under contract on other teams. Good teams.
Yeah.
Like their ability to make their teams better is superior to that. Bowman and Jackson have some work to do. And you said it. They completely shot themselves in the foot with these no movement clauses.
There's no need for them.
You look at other teams with those little anchors beside the names. The only guys that get them are the
stars,
the superstars.
That's Adam Enrique and Matthias Janmark and Vic, they should not have no movement. You want to play in Edmonton, a Stanley Cup contender, you take the money we're offering and we're good.
Even Nuge, like it should have been for the first few years. Maybe I can see it. But then in the latter half, like he's got a no movement till, I don't know, 2042 or something.
He's not going anywhere, that's for sure. Jacob says, guys, the team was in the Stanley Cup finals again. They weren't a bad team. You're all crazy. No, Jacob, we're not saying that. Like the Oilers ran through the West. Like they're a top 2 team in this league. But Florida was just a step above in this series, and that's okay
what do you
to
do?
say.
They're the benchmark now. How do you get that good? You can't go, well, maybe we'll just hopefully get back there and try it again. No, you have to make your team better.
Yeah, no, Jacob, we're breaking down because they lost the Stanley Cup final, but in no way are we saying they're a bad team. The Edmonton Oilers are one of the best teams in the league.
And they will be again next year.
Yeah. He says that wasn't for you two. No, I know. But I think a lot of people are just frustrated and upset. And we're talking about certain players and scenarios that are going to happen this offseason. I think that's the case here. The Oilers, do they need upgrades? 100% they do. And that's why it's going to be fascinating. As Simiraz says, Bouchard won't take less than Nurse. Oh, no. Hell no, he won't.
What did he say?
He's like, Bouchard, there's no way he's taking less than Nurse. No, he will get more than Nurse. 100% he will. And John Carlo, was Jeff Jackson drinking while giving away these no movement?
Maybe Bouch will pull a Crosby and just sign for $2 million for the 8 years. Connor will go 9-7. Right?
Connor will go 9-7.
Should have picked a higher number, Bouch.
Damn, I should have been.
Is Wallman 98?
96.
96, whatever. 98's available, Bouch. Maybe you can change your number.
It's going to be interesting, man. And I from what I'm seeing from our wonderful listeners and people that are viewing us, of course.
Sorry. You see Cash in the nasty check Cash. Janmark has a no movement clause.
Well, to be fair, Cash, it's modified. No movement.
Is it? I forget what it is.
Yeah, it's like a 10 team.
It is.
Just stay off Puckpedia, Oiler fans. I already told Gager.
Oh yeah, it's a 10-team no trade list. So he submits who he does not want to be traded to, and then they can move him to any of the other ones. But for complete no movements, Enrique, Arvidsson, Nuge, Evander Kane has a 16-team approved trade list in his contract. Hyman, complete no movement. Connor McDavid, no movement. And Leon Draisaitl, no movement.
And we're okay with
Darnell
those.
Nurse, complete no movement.
Until 27, 28, and then he has a 10-team no trade list.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's no movement all the way through.
No, I'm looking at it right now. If you go to 27, 28 and hit beside the anchor, there's like a shield.
Yeah.
It says 10-team no trade list.
He's got a no movement, but he also has he can also be traded, I guess.
Yeah.
But he can still say he can veto everything.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what Kenny Holland because this is on Kenny Holland too.
Yeah, I guess he gave them that too.
That's what I was thinking. Like when you're negotiating that contract, because Darnell Nurse said it. He goes, "We were about to sign a 4-year deal until Seth Jones' deal dropped." And then,
really?
And then he said it in his presser.
I didn't.
The day he signed the deal. If I'm Ken Holland, I'm like, Darnell, you want 9.25. You've had one really good year. It's a COVID year. You're not getting a no movement.
Or at least just the first few years, right?
You want a no movement clause? I'm taking $1.5 million off your deal.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, Darnell Nurse will never be moved.
Jeff Jackson thought he was still an agent with some of these things.
Yeah. He's like, yes. Oh, wait.
Wait, I'm not the guy's agent. No movement. Okay. See him going back and forth with himself.
Yeah, but do yourself a favor, Oiler fans. Don't go on Puckpedia. If you have any questions, just ask us. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 7. The Oilers have 7 guys with no movements. No, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 guys.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
And you're still paying Jack Campbell for another 5 years.
2.3 this year, this upcoming year. He gets a raise next year to 2.6, and then 1.5 for the next 3.
Oh boy!
I always thought they should. Well, I guess they couldn't have.
That is unbelievable.
Because he would have been coming off the books this year, right?
Jack Campbell?
Jack Campbell, or would he have one more year? It was 5 years.
He would have had 2 more years.
2?
Yeah, he signed 5 years, right? This
Yeah,
would have
I
been
think
his third year. Because last year is when they sent him to the minors and brought out Pickard.
Yeah, you're right. So, yeah.
Let's just put it this way: Stan Bowman didn't give a lot of these no movements. It's not his fault, but it's his damn problem now.
No. Oh yeah, he would have 2 more years.
It's his problem now, and he's got to get creative, man. He's got to find a way to upgrade this team. He's got to find a way to. If Bouchard gets a no movement, I will lose it. There's no need to give him one. No need. If you're paying him $11 million, get out of here. But Bowman's got his work cut out, but that's why he makes millions, right, Joaquin?
Yeah, that's their job, right? That's what you're hired to do is to make the team better.
So the Oilers right now, the only guys they can truly UFA, Corey Perry, Jeff Skinner, Connor Brown, Kasperi Kapanen, and Trent Frederick. Trent Frederick's being rumored to be signing an 8-year deal with the Edmonton Oilers. It better be a low cap hit. That's all I'm going to say. I did not like what I saw from him in the playoffs. I know he was hurt, but I don't know why you're committing 8 years.
Well, do his number, right? 8 years at 2.1?
Yeah, maybe. I can live with that. But Kapanen's not back. I don't bring Connor Brown back. I don't bring Jeff Skinner back. Would you bring Corey Perry back?
That's a
tough one because we're going to get to the forwards.
Someone is going to pay Corey Perry a bit more money.
But Tom Gazzola said it perfect yesterday. He goes, Corey Perry, most consistent bottom 6 guy in the regular season. He was great. He was great in the playoffs. He goes, but you have a problem when Corey Perry's starting on your first line in the Stanley Cup final. And it's not a shot at Corey Perry, though.
No.
But that just shows you the little bit of the difference here between the two teams, right? It's and then defensively, John Klimberg's a UFA. Damn, Stetcher's back here too. But he's like, this day keeps getting worse.
I think I think he's below the league minimum, so I think he gets a raise.
Now, if Trent Frederick turns into the guy we saw in Boston, I'm all for it, but it all depends on the AAV. This cannot be an overpay and a no movement clause included in it. Seriously, enough with this. The Oilers, they've backed themselves into a corner with these no movements. They have. It's going to be tough for Stan Bowman, but earn your money, bro. You gotta make some quality moves here, and you got to find a way. You have to find a way. I'm pretty sure Arvidsson will lift his no movement to get out of here because he was not happy. We knew that in February. He didn't play last night. I'm sure he's not happy. So that's a guy, maybe Kane. Who knows? All right, on the other side of the break, continue to talk Oilers. We'll have Inside the Numbers, Hernan's World, and great job by you guys today. The chat's awesome. It's respectful. A lot of good insight, and keep hitting us up on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. We continue to debrief another heartbreak for the Edmonton Oilers as they fall to the Florida Panthers for the second year in a row. We're back after the break here on EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk.
The Lock Shop. There's a lot to love about what the Oilers did. I will say this, as a Jet fan, I'm disappointed that the Oilers didn't win this because I have absolutely no doubt that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are going to be holding that cup up at a certain point.
Yeah.
And if you're another team, you're like, okay, never mind the Panthers. How the hell do we get to the cup final with what the Oilers have done and what they've learned in the playoffs the last few years?
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Get ready for the Ultimate Showdown, June 20th and 21st at Red Torque Raceway's Western Cup. Catch the Alberta Modifieds, late models, and other high-powered machines on the oval in a spectacular display of speed, skill, in sideways racing action. The Western Cup, a true celebration of dirt track racing at its finest for all ages. June 20th and 21st at Red Torque Raceway, just off Highway 2 and Highway 19 at the Edmonton International Airport. Tickets and info at radraceway.com.
Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Enjoy great drinks, amazing vibes, and unforgettable memories. Download the Banquet app and get a free pizza pie on your birthday. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
From the Big Apple rep, Matt Rempe has re-signed with the Rangers at nearly $1 million a season for 2 years. And 34-year-old Marie-Philippe Poulin has been named the Female Hockey Player of the Year for the International Ice Hockey Federation. She was a runner-up for the PWHL MVP award, winning the MVP at the World Championships in April. In the CFL, the Stamps will miss Reggie Bagleton as he hits a 6-game injury list with a fractured leg he sustained against the Argos on Saturday, while out east, Ottawa's Drew Brown hasn't been ruled out for Saturday, with head coach Bob Dice saying that Dustin Crum would start if Brown is out against the Stamps. Down south, former Packer Jer Alexander is off to Baltimore, signing a 1-year contract worth a maximum amount of $6 million. From Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton is a game-time decision for tomorrow's Game 6 against the Thunder. Halliburton fighting a lower body injury throughout the series while suffering a calf strain in Game 5. And the Jays are back in action, taking on the Diamondbacks Toronto, naming Eric Lauer the starting pitcher with first pitch just after 5 o'clock. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
Hour 2 here on EST Afternoons as we continue the debrief. The Edmonton Oilers' second consecutive loss to the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup Finals. I hope you're doing all okay. Go grab a beer or have some takeout today and treat yourself. You deserve it, Oiler fans. You've been through a lot these last couple months. A lot of happiness, but we feel you, man. We feel you. Hit us up, River Korean Buck 780-218-9999. And that's the chat. Slam that thumbs up. If you're listening, iHeart, TuneIn, radio apps, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We're live from the William Huff Studios. Of course, we'll start shifting gears slowly here. Edmonton Elks football tomorrow. Home opener against the Montreal Alouettes. Check out the tailgate. EST will be on location there for the tailgate with our guy Trev and our guy Benny the Jet, Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Should be a fun game. Weather doesn't look the best, so, bring your umbrella, your rain jackets, and all that. But it should be a fun night down at Commonwealth Stadium as we go support the green and gold and see if they can pick up their first win of the season. Shout out to Canada Soccer, big 6-0 win over Honduras, probably their toughest matchup in the group stage. And good for them, man. They're scoring in bunches now in their first game of the Gold Cup. So kudos to Canada for that big win. That game was at BC Place yesterday. I couldn't really tune in because I was doing post game, but saw the goals. Happy to happy to report they're all beautiful goals. Good for Canada, man. They're playing well and without Alfonso Davies. So kudos to them. I think they got El Salvador next. I could be wrong, but I know they're in the group. So cheer on the Canadians as we return to your Oilers therapy session.
So this Puckpedia it's a good site. Don't go on it today. Wait a few days. But it does have a section with popular buyouts and also with the players with the most buyout views. So it's actually looking at people clicking on certain players and then hitting the buyout number. And so it's tracking how many. And there's two guys at the top, both defensemen,
okay.
Both play on Canadian teams, different teams. Who do you think are the top two defensemen that people are looking up to see what their buyout would be?
Darnell Nurse
is one. He's number one, but he's tied at number one with another player, another defenseman on another Canadian team.
Darnell Nurse and another Canadian team. Toronto, no. Montreal, no.
You were close the first time.
Toronto? Riley?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So Darnell Nurse, 19% of views. Morgan Riley, 19%. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, 17%. Elias Pettersson is 10%. Tyler Sagan, 10%. Zibanejad, 9%. Draisaitl at 9% of views. And David Kemp, for some reason, a lot of Leaf fans. He's at 8%.
Jeez. That's interesting, man. Oh, the offseason is going to bring us so much joy. Gager, let's get to some text first, then we'll get to the forward group. Herb's Hose says, the thing is, fellas, you can't have 20 million combined between Nurse and Bouchard. Neither one can hold their own. They need good supporting deep pairings to keep that level. Herb's Hose, that's what I said. K-Town says, Josh from K-Town, Gager, in your experience, how often do guys turn down a trade request when a team approaches them? I imagine it would be difficult to go to work every day knowing your boss wants to move on from you.
Yeah, that's I think the hardest thing is approaching some of these guys. And kind of we saw the cracks in that with Arvidsson, I think, right? Because he was approached to see if he would move. And
I think I think he wanted out.
But I think that it was initiated by the Oilers, from what I heard. Maybe I'm wrong. But still, and I think it happened. I'm not sure, but I heard rumors that they were asking other people too if they would move their no trade, and some people said no.
Yeah,
that's their right. Yeah, and why would you, as a player, at this point, knowing that how good the Edmonton Oilers are and the chances of winning a Stanley Cup? I mean, look at it from that side of the coin. You're going, okay, if I stay, I'm playing, could win a Stanley Cup. I got one more year on my deal. Yeah, then I'll say trade me wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'll have the cup in my back pocket.
Yeah. D-Rock says, do we give Campbell another look? No. I
don't think he's even playing anymore, man. I think he's actually done.
Spruce Grove Corey, 8 years for Frederick. We're going full Stan Bowman with that rumored deal. Yeah, I don't know why you're going 8 years. I truly don't get that. RBM says, that's what scares me, guys. Usually when you're seeing longer term deals, it's up there for a cap hit. I hope it's somewhere around the 2 to 3 million range, but I've got a bad feeling it's going to start with a 4. It better. I don't know how anyone can defend giving $4 million to Trent Frederick after what you saw in the playoffs. I'm sorry. Troll says I'm a little behind in the stream, but I ranked them Ecom 1, Boosh 2. Well, no. We're doing left side defenseman. So he had Nurse Kulak, though, so he doesn't have Wallman in there as well. Gager, when we look at this, Tom Gazzola says Kane nixed the deadline deal. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's who told me, I guess.
And then Max Pazuzu says, can we talk about the mushrooms episode on the studio instead? That's a great epi, man. You got to watch it.
Really?
It is freaking hilarious.
Oh, I saw highlights that's the old school buffet table or whatever. Yeah. Gotta watch it.
And the Franco guy's hilarious.
Oh, the young Franco. Yeah.
Anyways, when we look at this forward group in this series, I mean, I thought Adam Henrique was bad all playoffs. I know he brings value because you win faceoffs, but you got to do more than win faceoffs. I thought Evander Kane after game 2 kind of disappeared in the series. It's almost like he didn't want to be physical because of maybe the way things were being called, or he was getting, in trouble from his coaching staff for taking dumb penalties early in games. I thought Janmark disappeared. I thought Connor Brown disappeared. Trent Frederick, again, he's up there with Adam Henrique, who for me didn't do much in these playoffs. I like Jeff Skinner's game. He's in there. He's mucking it up.
Yeah.
Corey Perry was great. Nuge, okay.
Nuge had a good spurt in the Dallas series, I thought. And that was it.
That was it. And the top dogs, listen, they produce, but listen, let's get to, I got to give you some numbers here, Gager, that are going to blow your mind. Inside the numbers, for Play Alberta, experience all the excitement of the casino in the palm of your hand. Download the Play Alberta app today. All you got to do for some free money, deposit 20 or more to get a $50 casino bonus using promo code EST Casino. You can do the same for $50 free sports bet using promo code EST Sports. Okay, so check this out, Joaquin. Leon Draisaitl, before Game 3, had a streak of 88 playoff games with at least one shot attempt. In the last 4 games, he twice had 0 shot attempts, including last night.
Wow.
Like, what happened there?
Panthers, man. That was their focus. Paul Maurice said it at the end. We focused on those two and gave them props. They're hard to defend. Didn't seem that hard. No, it was. They did a masterful job of eliminating everything that they could do on a regular basis.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane.
Defense wins, man.
Yeah, no, I know.
Defense wins championships, and I like the.
Don't yell at me.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
I can't take it anymore.
All the analytics and building of teams, there's just some of those things that are not measurable with hockey players, and that's heart and desire, and a willingness to play in a disciplined system to a T. And the Florida Panthers hit all 3 of those. Their willingness to do things without the puck were much greater than the Edmonton Oilers. You talk about the second goal. There's just a lapse in judgment by the Edmonton Oilers' best player to go do something where it's shoulder checking at this point, recognizing the situation. Like your vision can't always be just omnipotent when you're on offense. It has to be just as good on defense too.
It blows my mind that 0 shot attempts. Like I truly hope we hear that something was bugging him, because he completely fell off in the last couple of games. The big one was Game 5. That was the killer. The Oilers had to win that game. I'll give you some more stats for inside the numbers. So the Panthers led in the Stanley Cup Finals for 255 minutes and 49 seconds. The Oilers led for 33 minutes and 51 seconds. They set the all-time record for a championship series, beating the 87 Oilers. Not just that, in 2024 playoffs, the leading trailing differential for the Oilers was plus 453 and 56.
Wow.
In the 2025 playoffs, the leading trailing differential was minus 95.46.
Wow.
Like, that's insane.
That is crazy.
So, what does that tell you? The Oilers had to come back a lot, and that stuff runs out real quick, especially when you meet a juggernaut like the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know who said it on the morning show, like they had to come back in their wins, and it took overtime to win them.
Yeah.
It's
interesting, man. It's Timothy says, guys, who the hell is David Tomasek? He's a Spangler Cup legend. If you listen to Dusty, I have no idea, man. He's one of the Euros that got signed during the playoffs, and many think he's going to crack this team, and I'm done with these players because none of them ever work out for the Oilers. We talked about it last time, remember? We said, how many of these European players that the Oilers signed, how many have worked out? There's not many.
There's a handful. And usually they're Canadians that go over there and come back.
Yeah, and so, Gager, did you like that they went 97-29 sort of in that game? I hated it too.
It's awful.
And I understand why, because it's do or die. But I liked what Rashog said this morning with the boys. He said, like, they were rolling fine.
I know.
Like, why do you And it was before the goal was scored. It was 0-0. Why do you go that? And I guess Knobloch in his presser said that was planned. But why? When you know you get nothing from no other lines in those moments.
I equate it to, when you're having a few drinks, so you got 3 glasses of wine and you feel great.
Oh, yeah.
And to yourself, you think, you know what would be great? 1 more glass of wine. But then it's not good. So everything's going good. And essentially, Nobla had 1 more glass of wine, putting Connor and Leon together, and that was it. Went off the deep end. Everything was perfect. And what happens when he puts those guys together? They get scored on right away.
They're -2 in the first period.
It's like, come on.
No, the first one's not their fault. They were like, that's just 2 defensemen.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. Those guys were gone, out of the zone.
Oh, yeah.
Give me the puck. No. What did we talk about? Or maybe that was 2 guys. Close support.
Yeah.
Right? Echo makes a terrible pass, yes. But Bouchard was the only guy that was open because the other 3 guys were at the far blue with their sticks up in the air, yelling open.
Yeah, no, I did not like that move from Knobloch again. And this is where I'm at with this forward group, and this is why I get the frustration with the fan base. 8 years ago, we were talking about we need line mates for Leon Draisaitl. And listen, on July 1st, 2024, we all thought they got him with Arvidsson and Skinner. We did. I remember the jubilation on those signings. And Draisaitl, that second line. Listen, they took a swing. It didn't work out. You move on, right?
Yeah.
But the problem I have right now is, Gager, once again, we're sitting here saying you still need 2 wingers for Leon Draisaitl. Because if your only move as a head coach is to go to 97-29, it's too easy to figure out. You don't think Florida was licking their chops saying, they're together?
Yeah.
We can throw 3 lines at them and 4 defensemen.
Yeah.
We're good.
Way easier. Way easier.
Because Nuge, with a hurt wrist, is not going to do anything on his line.
This is what I'm talking about. What does a GM do, though? Because his coach has a tendency to put them together all the time now. Like, that's Knoblaugh's MO. So...
And every coach in Edmonton has done it, though.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But a lot of I think the reason why is not getting any juice from anything else.
Yeah.
He's trying to get blood from a rock with his other 3 lines.
Yeah.
And so he says this is the only thing that was working and getting us going. So either there's 2 things you can do. You can either say, you know what? Okay, if you're going to play them together then. But I have to get you a second line then. I have to get you something that you're consistently using because you have the faith that they are going to get the job done on a regular basis.
I think Elliott said it yesterday in the second intermission. He goes, the Oilers are better when they go with the 2 big dogs and you have Zach Hyman. But Zach Hyman on the second line can bring you into the fight to a certain extent.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
But it's tough. And listen, a lot of these guys will be back. I mean, do you bring Connor Brown back?
No.
I don't either. I don't bring Kapanen back.
You have to build for the future too a little bit, right? You can't. You got to inject some youth here. You got to scour the other teams. It's usually other good teams, but you might want to try to find guys that maybe had a tough time cracking the lineup, or getting in there because that position. Not that they weren't good, but the positions that they were, the piece for. Was just log jammed by talent, right?
Or you got to move on from the guys that noticeably dipped in the final.
You got to change things. They rolled it back for the most part last year.
Yes.
Right?
You made about 5 significant, like Arvidsson, Skinner out, Fogle, McLeod out, Podkolzin in, Holloway out.
I liked Podkolzin, man. I think there was a lot of growth with Podkolzin. I'm interested. I mean, it's a long ways away, obviously, but I was thinking to myself, I can't wait to see what he brings next year.
And he's a good bottom 6 forward.
Yeah.
I have no issues with Vasily Podkolzin. Just don't play him in the top 6 because he's not a producer. He's not that guy, right? So you play him in the bottom 6 if you need to moonlight in the top 6 for a shift or a game, sure. But at the end of the day, it's going to be tough. I mean, I mean, it's no secret, Joaquin. Stan Bowman has he's got a tough job here. I don't know what he does. I don't know how he does it.
Can't believe you said yes.
Because a lot of guys, you can ask guys to move there, but why would guys say, I'm not leaving this team? They're close to winning. Right?
Yeah.
Like, why would I leave? You guys gave me the no movement. I don't want to move.
Yeah. My family's here. My kids have friends. My wife's got friends.
I'll say one thing. The Oilers have to get a little bit younger.
Yeah. That's what I mean. They need
Like
some
more speed.
They need speed.
Yeah.
Size and speed.
Yeah, so it's going to be a big offseason, man. Who knows? At the draft, they have no picks. What is it, 3rd, 6th, 7th round?
Oilers this year have 0 first round, 0 second round, 1 in the 3rd, 0 4th, 0 5th, 6, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th.
And you're a Stanley Cup contender. I know you got to build some youth, but it is what it is for me. I mean, you're not going to be a Stanley Cup contender and have a ton of picks. It's just not the way it works. What does Florida have? Do you know? Before we go to break. Before that, I'll read this liner. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. You can check out the Lightfoot Band on July 4th, and the following day on July 5th, you can check out Ian Munsick. All you have to do for tickets is go to www.rivercreeresort.com or hit up the River Cree box office.
They've given away all their first round picks for the next 3 years, but for this year's draft, they just have 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th.
Okay. So it's very
it's similar.
It's very
the odds of any of those players panning out to regular NHLers.
The Oilers are in win mode, and picks ain't gonna help them.
I wonder if we're gonna see a flurry of activity with the Oilers early. I think you gotta start early with this. Can't wait. You know, you want it. Although it worked for the Florida Panthers, I get that. Getting Jones and Marchand later on, but they're older, experienced players and things. But I think there's a value of getting everyone in camp together. You know, the pieces that come in late. What is the first thing that Marchand says about going to Florida? It was just, I came in, and granted, this is a guy that's been in one organization his whole career, so he hasn't been in another dressing room except for like Team Canada stuff. But he said everyone was welcomed. Like we were part of it. Was a family. My kids, wife. Everything was looked after. We felt embraced. That's what for that to happen late in the season. Well, it shows. And even I wanted to mention the just what they did when they got the cup. Like, so Barkov got it, gave it to the older, experienced guys that had never won yet, and then handed it to all the maybe guys that didn't play a lot or young guys. They got to touch it first. And then they went to the guys from the year prior and let them. That was
cool.
That was cool, dude. That's a team. And that was Barkov's idea.
Yeah.
Unreal. That's a leader.
That's a good team, man. Connor McDavid, we'll get to these comments and all that. Doesn't sign text guy says, wow, Oilers need size and speed. Great analysis. Well, have you been listening to this show? Like, we've given a lot of analysis. I said they need to get younger.
Yeah, younger.
I don't think once I said size, but sure, why not?
I might have said size.
But I mean...
But Enrique's not a big guy. Skinner's not a big guy.
Yeah,
Brown's not a big guy. Like, who's... Like, Kane...
Arvidsson's not big.
Not Arvidsson. So, what are you talking about?
Like, I just... The Oilers have to find a way to find wingers for Leon Draisaitl, so they don't have to go 97-29 every time. That's the big one to me. Goaltending, I think it's up in the air. I can see this management running him back, Gager. I can. I don't know, and I know that's not a popular choice. I'm not saying I agree with it, but... And then defensively, they got a lot of their guys signed outside of Klimberg. Do they just run it back with the same group as well, right? Keep in mind, everyone, the Oilers don't have a lot of money, have to sign Bouchard, and have 9 no-movement clauses, okay? Because Jason says, bye-bye, nurse. Jason, I hate to break...
Oh, no, he's...
that guy's not going anywhere.
No.
1, he's no movement clause. 2, extremely difficult to move him at 9.25 for what he kind of is at this point at 30 years old. And 3, he is a part of the core with Leon and Nurse. I mean, Leon and Connor, they're best buds. And I think that has a lot of say in it, too.
You can't, though.
It shouldn't.
No. They got to do what's best for the team, not what's makes people feel happy that their buddies, they get to play with their buddies.
Yeah.
You know, play with your buddies in the summertime.
This is a business. You gotta, if you have to upgrade, and don't get me wrong, if Nurse didn't have one, they're probably shopping him, but they can't because he will likely not move.
I would ask him too. Don't you, as a GM?
I think you have to.
I mean, the only guys I'm not asking to if they will move their no movement are Leon and Connor. That's it. Yeah. Everyone else, I'm going to would you accept a trade?
Yeah,
you have to, man.
You have to. Like, you're asking Janmark, you're asking anyone to get off the books right now.
Everybody. I'm sorry, but Nurse and Nugent Hopkins are in that.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, the only two guys that are off limits are Connor and Leon.
That's it.
All right, we got to get to a break.
Okay.
We will do Hernan's World. And we'll continue to, it's been a fun show because there's a lot of good discussion on the Nasty Chat and the River Cree inbox. And it's a sad day though. You got to feel for the players. You got to feel for Oiler fans.
You should see Trev.
Oh boy. If you see Trev out there, give him a hug.
Please.
We gave him a group hug earlier. So hopefully he's doing better as the day goes on. But we're back here on EST Afternoons. Keep slamming that thumbs up for us, please. And thank you. But first up, here's our guy Coop. Sports Update.
Canada's Marie-Philippe Poulin has been named the International Ice Hockey Federation's Female Player of the Year, receiving nearly 1/3 of the votes for the award. In New York, the Rangers have inked Matt Rempe to a 2-year contract extension worth nearly $1 million per season, while in Calgary, the Stamps will be without Reggie Bagleton as he hits the 6-game injury list, fracturing his leg against Toronto on Saturday. While out east, Drew Brown's availability for the Red Blacks is not determined yet, with Dustin Crum to start if Brown can't go against the Stamps this weekend. NFL News has the Ravens signing former Packer Jair Alexander to a 1-year deal worth a maximum amount of $6 million. Elsewhere, Pacers star Tyrese Haliburton is a game-time decision tomorrow, facing elimination in Game 6. Haliburton has been fighting through a right leg injury throughout the series, with him being nicked up with a calf strain in Game 5. In baseball, Toronto rematches Arizona. Jays winning 5-4 in their series opener yesterday. Eric Lauer, the expected starter for the Jays, with first pitch at 5:07. Then the Riverhawks rematch the Bells, losing 7-1 last night. They go head-to-head at 7:05. Listen to the game right here on any of EST's audio streams. This Sports Update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly contribution. Every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. We return to the show after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
You're just going out with the boys. You go to the beer stand, you say, boys, first round's on me. Once you take a sip of the first beer that was part of the first round, you are now committed to buying one of those next rounds.
You're getting somebody else's. There's me and Bert and Ernie are out. And I say, hey guys, I'm getting the first round.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Bert says, I sold some pigeons so I can get the next round.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
It's 2:31. Welcome back to EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk. Walk, what are you taking away from this run? Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I mean,
oh yeah,
you had the chaos of going down 2-0 to LA, and then the comebacks and the horrible
keep-in,
the Boosh keep-in, the horrible Hiller challenge. And then you go to Vegas and just run them out. You have the weird goal that Vegas wins on. Remember?
Oh, the flipper, yeah.
And then Dallas, the Oilers just like the horrible third period.
They slapped
in game one. Yeah.
Those three teams.
They did.
They just abused them. Because I didn't think they're going to get out of the first round.
Well, I said
you did. Yeah, you were thinking they were.
I thought third time's the charm.
Yeah.
LA's gonna, and I mean they started good.
Yeah. They really did.
And then they kind of blew it.
And then Vegas, I think I said Vegas in 7. I think is what I said.
Yeah. After that, I picked the Oilers.
Yeah, I know.
In every series.
Yeah, you were saying Oilers are going to sweep them. And then we actually both said Oilers in 5 for Dallas.
Yeah.
And then you said for this last series, Oilers
in 5.
You said in 5 again?
Yeah, you said
Florida in 7.
I think I have it here.
I'm pretty sure I said Florida.
Edmonton in 7 with Zach. Hernan, Edmonton in 5. And yeah, you had Florida in 7. Good for you, Joaquin.
No, I got it wrong.
I mean, you're close.
I was close.
I don't want to. Should we go here? Can you just imagine if they won yesterday? The 2 days leading up to Friday would be unreal, man.
Yeah, no, it would have been great. It would have been the cup, like a game 7 at home.
Oh,
I mean, that's what we talked about a lot too, right? Like, because you know what,
close.
Edmonton has home ice. These are even teams. That could be the difference this year. We really think it was last year. And again, that's why I think that this loss hurts way more than last year, because they were so close.
Yeah.
They were that team. They were a lot more evenly matched last year than they were this year. And just for Edmonton Oilers fans to see just the way that they dominated teams for 3 rounds and walk through the Western Conference, how can you not think things are going to be different this year? And winning game 1, getting all happy, fat and sassy.
Yeah. And even up 2-1 at one point, right?
Yeah.
No, they were down 2.
No, 2, they were down.
But the comeback in game 4, you're like, hey, they're going home. That place was rocking, but the Oilers didn't show up. And then
I don't know if they just didn't show up. I think the toll of playing against the Panthers was just too much.
What did Farhan say on, when did we have him on? Monday?
Yesterday?
No, today's Wednesday.
I know.
And he said, he goes, they look spent. And
the Oilers, yeah.
Connor McDavid said yesterday in his postgame, he goes, we're banging our heads against the wall. We kept trying the same thing over and over. Nothing.
Yeah,
was
what
working.
do you take from that?
That's a weird. What? If he left the banging our heads against the wall out, I would have been like, ooh, that's a shot at the coaches.
That's what it's.
But then when he says we were banging our heads against the wall doing the same thing over and over again, I think he's talking about the collective group, maybe the forwards, maybe the team as a whole. It's an interesting comment, though.
I have a tough time thinking that he would be. It's an emotional time, though, right? Right after the game. Sometimes, guys, you don't have that decompression like we have today on the game to really think about it and digest it.
Yeah.
You might say things out of the spur of the moment types of things. And yeah, it seemed like a shot across the bow to the coaching staff a little bit.
Like, let's find a way here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I think everybody will read into it differently. I look at it as kind of
really,
like,
I don't know what it means.
Yeah, exactly. But take it for what it is. I mean, it's tough in those pressers. And I give Skinner credit. He stood there for 6 minutes and answered all the questions thoughtfully. I think that shows a lot of character. Connor was pretty short. Ekholm was 50 seconds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's tough. What do you
How
think?
was Ekholm, like, did he look just... I just heard a voice. I was listening to it.
Dejected. You know, he looked all right. I mean, it's a Rowdy Ryder says Calgary loves the Sunshine State. Oh,
love him so much they gave him your two best players.
You buggers. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun ride, man. I mean,
yeah. How can you not, man? How can you not? Like, yeah, it'll hurt today, but then you got to realize how good your team is. How many other hockey markets would do anything? Well, maybe not to lose. I don't know.
Well, because Dallas beat Colorado, beat Winnipeg, and then the Oilers rolled them. Like, that series was not close.
Not even remotely close.
It's like what Florida did to Edmonton in the final 4 games. Seriously, that's what Edmonton did to Dallas after losing that first game because of that third period. And we're all like, and then the Oilers just took over.
How many games did Bobrovsky play this year?
Like regular season?
Yeah.
Well, let's check. Let's check.
Because the reason I'm asking is both with Hellebuck and Ottinger, two of
54.
Okay, so but Ottinger and Hellebuck, more, right? Both of them.
Hellebuck for sure.
Hellebuck for sure.
And Jakey boy, he played 58.
Okay, so a little bit more than Bobrovsky, right? Yeah, you got to find a way to. Well, Hellebuck's got to pay. He's got to be around that number. I think 50 to 55 is kind of a perfect number. It's okay, but they just both seem to fall off from their normal play. I don't know. Because Skinner, what did he have this year? 50 or a little less?
Well, because they had a rotation, right? Like,
yeah, there was a conscious effort because I think that's what they
51.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's the proper amount for your big dog to play.
But a lot of that, in fairness, because he was struggling mightily, so they were running Pickard a little bit more, right?
That is true.
Like if he's playing well, he's probably up to 60.
Well, can you say that though? Pickard didn't play back to back until
late.
Yeah.
Doesn't sign text guy says it was sassy sarcasm.
Oh,
we're not in the mood. Doesn't sign. I'm kidding. Gager, question for you since you've been in the game. Do you think that McDavid is an ideal captain? Obviously, world's best player, and obviously has a passion, and that speech from last season showed how much he cares. But do you think in the perfect world, he should be the captain?
Doesn't matter who wears the C on their jersey. The team knows who the leader is. I think I don't know if it's rarely just one person.
You always have a lot, right?
Yeah, there's the core group. I don't hear of Connor McDavid talking a lot, But then again, you saw everyone saw the video and how emotional he was. Leon got up and said something. Corey Perry did something along.
By the sounds of it, Leon does a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, he's way more vocal.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Darnell probably says some stuff. Like it's a group effort. Just because, listen, the guy that wears the C, Mark Messier, said it best way back on Letterman. I remember this. What is it? You're the captain. What does that mean? Oh, I organize the parties and I can talk to the refs. That's about it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, because everybody thinks it's just McDavid, right?
No,
it's a whole whack
doesn't
of
work
guys.
that everyone talks in the dressing room. I've never been in a room when you wouldn't think there was, okay, right away, that's the leader, that's the guy, and then you meander your way and find where you fit within the group. Usually when you're younger, you're not as vocal, right? There's a respect to your elders on the team itself, I would say. When I was first with Edmonton, we were a young team. Kelly Buckberger was our leader. But when I came back years later, you walk into that room and the leadership group, you knew it right away. Waite, Guerin, Jason Smith, Greersy, Rem Murray. Those guys were the leaders. So
yeah. No, that's a good question. I think we put too much stock into Connor McDavid being the captain. I think he's a good leader. I think he does it in a different way.
I think he's older now. I think he leads a lot by example, which is good, and he holds guys accountable not only during games in between periods, but in practice themselves. Right? He's going full out all the time. If he's working his butt off, how does a guy playing 4 minutes a night not do the same thing?
Exactly. So yeah,
like that Barkov. I remember last year. It was 2 weeks after they won the cup. They showed pictures of him on the ice shooting. He rented some ice and went and skated. Like, come on.
All you need from, I think, the big dogs is they got to be a little bit more sound defensively. Like that play yesterday in the second goal is unacceptable for the greatest player on the planet.
There's a necessity to win in the playoffs, and that's a defensive structure to give everything you have. And that is a lesson. It's a hard lesson to learn. It's even harder to implement, but Connor and Leon have to do that.
Yeah, and they got to lead, and then everybody will follow. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out the Tap 25 restaurant where their prime rib special is just $18.99. It's available 7 days a week from 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Hernan's World on the other side of the break as we wrap it up, and then it's Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne from 3 to 6. Slam that thumbs up. Let's get to 100. We're 23 away. We love you guys, and we'll chat with you in about 4 minutes. Here's our guy Koob with your sports update.
Marie-Philippe Poulin has been named the female player of the year at the international level. She took home the MVP award at the World Championships in April, being a runner-up for the same award in the PWHL. Elsewhere, Matt Rempe has re-upped with the Rangers, signing a 2-year deal worth nearly $1 million this season. And CFL News has Drew Brown of the Red Blacks not yet ruled out against the Stamps this weekend. Dustin Crum will start if Brown can't play. For the Pacers, head coach Rick Carlisle says that Tyrese Halliburton is, quote, probably a game-time decision for Game 6 tomorrow. Halliburton suffering a calf strain in Game 5 against the Thunder. And baseball has tons of action. Jays and D-backs go at it. Toronto picking up a 5-4 win yesterday in their series opener last night. First pitch today goes just after 5. Eric Lauer gets the ball for the Jays. Back in Edmonton, the Riverhawks host the Bells. Listen to the full game on any of EST's audio streams with that one starting at 7:05. For the Cactus Rats, they're on the road in Weyburn to face the Beavers in their series closer, Energy City, winning 7-2 last night. This sports update is not brought to you by anybody, but we will be back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Time out, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Hey, welcome back. Final segment here. Let's get to Hernan's World, always brought to you by the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. Early bird golf memberships are now on sale with discounts for seniors and first responders, plus special rates for Sturgeon County residents. Enjoy GPS carts and awesome driving range deals. Inside, you can kick back and enjoy a pint or a pound of wings in their full bar and restaurant. For more info, visit EJMGolf.com. Guys, I got some stuff, of course, like we always do, this day in sports and all that. But now that the Oilers are done and we move forward into the summer, what are the top things you're looking forward to do now that we're not tied down by this playoff run?
Well, I have to do this out of necessity because, as I told you, my wife wants to move. We put up lattice, like privacy lattice on our fence, just to give us a little bit more privacy. And so lattice goes up, and then my neighbor cuts down all the trees. So
you're moving.
I'm doing that or planting trees. So yeah. That's something I got to look forward to. But you know what? I think the biggest part is just, we're so, wintertime is so dark. I don't find it that cold actually anymore, but just the ability to, evenings off, I think is nice. And there's going to be other things going on, I know, but just not the playoff grind, I guess. Taking a little bit of time off from hockey, which is nice.
Yeah, clear the mind.
Yeah.
Coop?
I'm in that same sort of boat, but kind of utilize my time in a different way instead of sitting down and watching an Oilers game, which was fantastic to do for 2 straight years this deep into the playoffs. I don't know, work on my golf game as well, and I'm looking forward to traveling during the summer because that's really when EST can take time off, right? When the Oilers go on a deep playoff run, everyone is in playoff mode. You don't want to be gone, be the one guy who, is out, unless you have to do it for work like Dusty does. But usually we're all here, so we're going to be taking some vacay and maybe filling in on some shows while people are on vacation.
Nice. Yeah, like you said, evenings off. On hot days, enjoy my balcony. I have a beautiful view. I have a beer, wine, dinner with the GF. Run more, like my training. I've been training for about a month and a half for the half marathon. I'll probably pick it up now that I have evenings off. Because on Oilers game day, it was hard, right? Like you're here all day, and then it It was messing it up just a little bit, but you deal with it. So looking for that. And then just looking ahead to the summer, man, just being able to go to Elks games, hopefully get in some Riverhawks games, and being, and you know what? Like you love talking Oilers. It's the number one thing here in Edmonton when you're doing radio, but it's also great that we're going to shift gears a bit and we're going to talk a lot of Oilers because the off season is going to be unreal.
It's going to start up so fast again too. Like it's 3 months.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
it's like 3 months.
It is 3 months.
And then we go, but it's going to be nice to go all in on the CFL and then NFL camps opening up. And then, talking a lot of racing. We're all into racing and I'm getting into even more racing. I started watching a documentary about Formula E. I don't have time, Gager, for Formula E, but it's interesting. But yeah, it's just nice to have the evenings off. I gave Tom a big hug today and said, enjoy your evenings.
Oh, yeah. You guys did a great job, man.
Well, I appreciate that.
It was nice to have... no, it's just nice to hear breakdowns because what did we all do today? We all came in here and started talking about everything, right? Like if you could have heard some of the stuff that we were saying, it was hilarious.
It was unbelievable. That's probably our best. That's our best content, and we can't even air it.
I know you could have bottled that up and sold that for a lot of money. What we were talking about, but. No, it's you guys did great. I liked your breakdown. Cass, fantastic job. Belzy and Tommy. Reed's Reed that comes in there late. The voice of reason. The voice of Reed.
You filled in a lot. You were great. I know Coob did a few games for me that I had to miss on a Saturday, and Sean Belzy chimed in as well. Brad Malone, former Oiler.
Oh yeah.
He did a couple of shows, and Reed was fantastic as well. So, yeah, it's fun. But I will say I'm looking forward to evenings off. It's been 10 months. It's been a pure grind. But we love what we do. We get to talk sports, and the Oilers never disappoint. They're always entertaining, Joaquin. They started bad, then went on a roll, and then were awful after the Four Nations. Then they dealt with a bunch of injuries heading into the playoffs. Playoffs didn't start well. And then they went on a roll in the playoffs, and then the final series just didn't go the Edmonton Oilers' way. But I think this team's far from done. I'm intrigued to see what Stan Bowman can do. It's tough.
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of dynamite and blowing it up. Not in the sense of complete, but maybe just a renovation.
Yeah. And that's why now we go all in on the Elks. We're hoping that they have a better performance tomorrow and they can win on home field and pick up their first win in June in many years. So we'll be all over the CFL. We'll be all over F1, Indy, NASCAR. I'll probably dabble a bit because you don't really watch it, Joaquin, but I'll have my moments and talk about it. And we got tennis, golf, Riverhawks, Stingers on the station. What else? We got the Gold Cup going on right now. So it's going to be a fun summer, man. It's going to be great. And the Nasties, you guys are awesome. I know sometimes we fight and we argue. But it's great that we all have opinions and the majority of you keep it respectful. There's a small handful that don't. But it's been great. It's been fun. And we look forward to it, man. Like tomorrow we'll continue to talk Oilers, I'm sure. But we'll look heavily into the Elks game as well, and I'm looking forward to having different kind of guests on as well, right?
Yeah.
Give the hockey people some time off because they've worked their butts off too, especially with the travel to Florida and back. That's tough travel. That's 5.5 hours. How travel is.
That's a terrible 5.5 hour flight. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Doug Dad. Whoa, mentioning the Gold Cup on air. Enough with the soccer talk.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, man. But we thank you for joining us on the pre and post game shows all year. We might not always agree, but like I said, it's great conversation. And this city and Oiler fans just love the team to death. And I understand the passion and the disappointment. But stay strong. It's coming. The Oilers will be champs one day. I truly believe that. I truly, truly believe that.
James Barrows with a good one. It's hard to renovate when the asbestos has a no movement clause.
And do yourselves a favor. Stay off Puckpedia.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's not going to do anything for you. But enjoy the day. Enjoy it. We head into the weekend, guys. It's going to be fun. We got still 2 more work days. It's weird to say that. No more weekends either.
Mm.
Yeah. But it's been fun. I know today was a tough show because you're kind of doing a full recap of what went wrong for the Oilers, why they lost again, and there's going to be a lot of interesting conversations going forward here on EST regarding the Edmonton Oilers. Evan Bouchard, will there be trades? What are they going to do with the goaltending? Coaching could be a possibility too. Maybe you see some movement there, maybe assistance or something like that. So, and where does Marner go? Does Bennett stay? There's lots to dissect, and the draft's coming up, free agency. It's going to be great. I can't wait. And the Tecmo season. More time to play Tecmo now. For Zach. Oh, Zach wants to say something.
No, I was going to say Dusty even said after the game, he's a great job on pre and post. Hernan, Tommy, and everyone who was a part of it. Great run for everybody here. But he said, let's get to Tecmo. It's Tecmo season, baby.
All right, guys. It's been a fun show. Keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Of course, we got you covered right up until 6 as the great Reed Wilkins and Jay Millen are coming up here. They'll have a full debrief as well on the Oilers Panthers.
Some good stuff. I peeked.
They got some good stuff, as they always do. For Zach Kubish, Joaquin Gage, I'm Hernan Salas saying enjoy the rest of your day. We love you guys. We'll talk tomorrow. Ciao.